How are you, Joe Burrow? Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. We're hanging in there.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. So let's just jump right into it right now. How do you assess the first two games of your season, Joe?
One bad, one pretty good, but not good enough. So we're getting better every day. Working to improve. There's always room to improve after losses like that and wins. So we're in a good spot. We're happy with how practice is going. We're getting better. So we're excited for the opportunity on Monday.
And in terms of the self-scout, how are you self-scouting yourself through the first two games of the season? Joe?
One bad, one pretty good, but not good enough. Just about the same as our team. I'm holding myself to a high standard, and I would say I've hit it at times, and I haven't hit it at times. So we're trying to improve every day, be more consistent, and hopefully we'll get to where we want to by the end of the year.
And then, of course, the question I'm sure you've heard from multiple people. I usually don't like asking those because I find myself unique, Joe. I'll be straight up. The slow start. Can you put your finger on it? Why it keeps happening?
I think there's different factors every year. 0-2 for the third straight year. We're not panicking by any means. There's a lot of football to be played, but lots of room to improve at the same time, just like any game every year. So we're just looking to improve every day, go out on Monday and have our best game yet, hopefully get a win and then move on.
But you feel good, right? All accounts are that you came into this season healthier and off of a more normal, for the lack of a better phrase, off-season, training camp season, OTA season than maybe you've ever had as a professional.
Yeah, I feel great. I feel good about where we're at, too. We played well on Sunday, just not well enough to win the game. We didn't make the plays down the stretch to close it out. So we will on Monday. We're excited about the opportunity. I'm feeling good, feeling better every week. So we're going to continue to get better.
How much contact did you have with Jaden Daniels when he was in college, Joe?
We had some. I'll go back to the spring game sometimes and see him and talk to him. And I've seen him a couple times after that. I think he's got a chance to be really good. He's obviously a dynamic player and fun to watch. So as long as he keeps improving, he'll get to where he wants to get.
Did you vote for him for the Heisman?
I did.
Okay. So we don't, that awkwardness that doesn't exist, right? You're playing against him, but you voted for him for the Heisman.
Yeah, I believe I did. It's tough to remember that far back then, but I'm sure I did.
Yes, a lot has happened. Lots happened between now and back then, clearly. So for you, how are you better than even last year, even before you got hurt? How are you a different quarterback right now, Joe?
Well, I think before I got hurt last year, I was playing my best ball. And so we're getting back. It's always there's always an adjustment period when you're coming back from a season-ending injury. You haven't played football in a while. You get the reps in training camp, but live bullets is a little different. So I'm really happy with how I improved from week 1 to week 2. I'm looking to do that again, week 2 to week 3. I'm confident in our scheme, confident in the game plan. So I'm just looking to improve every day. And if I do that, I'm going to continue to get better.
Now, I know you're known for your cool, Joe Burr, Joe Cool, and what have you. But do you beat yourself up mentally?
Yeah, of course. I'm always looking for where I can get an edge, where I can improve myself. I expect to play close to perfect football, and when I don't, I'm pretty hard on myself, and always looking for little areas to improve my game. And I would say Sunday was not perfect by any means, so that's always what I'm striving for. I'm striving for perfection, and if you make little increments towards that goal, then that's a recipe for success.
Well, who do you speak to when you beat yourself up? Just yourself? Who's in your
myself?
That's it?
Yeah, I talk to myself, and I'm definitely harder on myself than anybody else is around me, and I think that's how you want to play the game and how you want to handle yourself for constant improvement.
Joe Burrow here on the Rich Eisen Show, getting set to take on the Washington Commanders. How much do you think of the Super Bowl from a couple years ago, Joe?
More often than I would like to. It's obviously, you try to put it behind you, but when you lose a big game like that, you think about it here and there. But I wouldn't say I think about it much during the season. It's more of an off-season thought process.
Just what, driving around, or just it just pops in your head, or
during the off season, you get a lot of time to yourself, and you can only think about some things so many times, and random things pop in your head, and unfortunately, that's one of them.
Do you speak? Who do you talk to just from the quarterback world? Do you reach out to anybody? Brady, Peyton Manning, any of these guys who you strive to have a similar resume to when you're all said and done? Those guys?
Yeah, whenever I run into any of those guys, I try to ask questions about their process, about how they handled things. I talked to Tom several times this offseason. He's a good resource for me. Peyton is, I've known Peyton since I was after my first year at LSU, and he's helped me a lot along the road. And so whenever I get a chance to pick those guys' brains about how they operated, what their process was, how they thought about certain things. Maybe it's not even football, maybe it's off the field, how they handle certain things. That's always an opportunity that I'm going to take advantage of.
Well, if you wouldn't mind sharing, what's the best piece of advice Tom Brady's given you?
We talk a lot about how to handle off the field situations this year. I'll keep that between us, but he gave me some really good insight about how to handle certain things outside the facility, and how to handle those to best facilitate your success.
You're talking about just personal stuff is what you're saying, just how you handle fame and things like that, or
yes, fame, friends, family, relationships. I think that's one of the harder parts of doing this, is how do you handle those situations. And so whenever I can pick somebody's brain about how they handled it, because I think Tom handled it pretty dang well. Whenever I'm in one of those situations, I try to, ask questions and try to take anything that I can to help myself.
So, and then comes moments where you pick up a water bottle in a certain way, and that sparks conversation that you can't control. That sort of stuff, Joe? That sort of stuff,
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, I would say that kind of stuff has never really bothered me. I know how I feel. I know what I'm doing. I think that stuff is more funny. I didn't even know about it until somebody asked me about it in a press conference. I was like, did I pick it up weird, or what exactly happened there? Because I hadn't seen the clip. But yeah, sometimes that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and this week it was how quickly you and Mahomes hugged it out after the game. I don't know if you heard that. You guys just quickly and then moved on, and people went, uh-oh, they got problems with each other?
Well, we had talked to each other before the game. After a game like that, not much to say. So I got a lot of respect for him. I think he has a lot of respect for me. Those are, sometimes you talk to guys, sometimes you don't. We had seen each other before the game, so no big deal.
Okay, no big deal. And do you feel like you perform well in Arrowhead, different than others and better than others? Because it certainly seems like you have a certain coolness about you and able to just dial your game up while dialing down the noise, Joe. Do you recognize that? Because the rest of us kind of do.
I think that I've always felt confident in myself in big time situations like that, in high pressure environments. I know the work that I put in to put myself in position to be successful in those kind of situations. And so I'm always really confident in myself, always confident in my guys, and feel like we can go get the job done in any situation against anybody, no matter what the score is. So I realize those situations and those opportunities, because that's where you really make a name for yourself.
Joe Burrow, a couple minutes left with the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. In terms of your confidence level, it's obvious on the field. And then for me personally, it was obvious this past summer in Paris, Joe. And I'm not referring to the Olympics. I'm referring to the walk.
Maybe in 2028.
Well, no, I'm not talking about any flag football or anything like that. I'm talking about walking with Justin Jefferson and the choice that you were given and you agreed to, which is the hole in the back of the suit here. Can you walk me through what happened and the thought process and everything here, Joe Burrow?
Well, they gave me the option to wear a shirt under it or no shirt under it, and I thought no shirt under it looked better than the shirt under it, and they agreed, and so we went with that.
And you showing off the back, and you have any concerns of anything like that, Joe? Nothing on that front?
No, I wouldn't say that. It was hot. It was a nice little breeze, as opposed to sweating more under the jacket. Justin liked it, and so that was all I needed.
Okay, because we had Justin here, and I think he might have said that to you just to see you go through with walking with a hole in the back of your jacket and shirt, Joe, to be very honest with you.
He got me to do it, so good on him then.
Did he not be given? He didn't give that option? He wasn't given that option that day?
I don't think he had a shirt on under his either.
That's true.
Didn't have the back cut out of his, but he was shirtless.
Okay. If I had told you back in the day, in Athens, Joe, that you'd be walking, at a what is that, Prada? Was it Prada that put you in
that was Vogue. That was Vogue's show.
My bad. That you'd be walking in a Vogue show in Paris, and I believe the Place Vendôme, if I'm just going to show off my knowledge of the city.
Yeah.
What would you have said to that individual?
I would probably, when I was little, I would have told you there's no chance that I would ever do that in a million years. And I definitely would have thought you were crazy. Athens is a very small, tight-knit community.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't exactly say that dreams like that are super available in a situation like that. So definitely come a long way from that.
Joe, I really appreciate the time, sir. Love watching you play. You're the favorites of many people, including my guy Chris Brockman's mom.
Yeah, my mom loves you, Joe. She texts me every Sunday during the Bengals games how much she loves you. It's really funny.
She's not from Ohio. She's not from Ohio at all either, Joe. Not at all. Why
does she like me so much?
Great question. I don't know. She's on her way here to visit this weekend. I'll ask her.
You've never asked?
I've never really asked. She just loves watching you play. I think she probably likes the way you look, I'm guessing.
Likes my hair, maybe?
Probably likes your hair, since I don't have any. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's very fun. It's very nice.
And how long are we sticking with the frosted look, Joe? How long are we sticking? What do you
I'm
think?
just going to let it grow at this point and see what it looks like.
What do you mean let it grow? What are we talking about?
Well, I'm going to get my little flip back probably.
Okay.
A month or two when my hair grows out. I'm not going to re-dye it or anything, so it'll just be blonde on the top.
And party in the back? Like that's what we're talking about here?
No, I've never had a mullet. I don't think I would do the mullet.
Okay. Very good.
One day. It's a lot of commitment because you got to let your hair grow out for probably a year and a half, and then cut it. I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
What's that like, Joe? What's that like? I don't even know what.
Bald guys over there.
Yeah. Low maintenance.
Listen, I'm fascinated, as you can tell. I'm living through you, Joe. What can I tell you? I'm just living through you. Thanks for the time. Good luck to you. I always appreciate our time and our conversations. Thanks again, sir.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Joe Burrow, everybody, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. There he goes. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.